Hi, welcome to the One True Divine Feminine Tarot and Psychic Investigations channel. So glad to have you join me here. Love to have you press the like button if you're enjoying the content. Here we talk about the light and love of the universe so that we can spread angelic vibes all over the place. But also sometimes we talk about crimes too, because sometimes bringing us to a good place means that we have to get through a literal crime wave in order for us to shine. But the purpose is so that we can all reach our highest good, our highest purpose. And we wish, of course, for the health for all beings. And we pray for the grace of God to shine on everyone's back. And of course, that depends, of course, what you've been up to, how well that's going to happen. Now, of course, that all being said, right, we're a space where people can learn how to heal, to overcome, to shine, and to reach our absolute highest potential, because a true and loving God would want every single person to reach the best of who they are, to be able to self actualize, knowing that sometimes to become your best self, you have to walk through coals of fire in order to get there. And it's from those worst trials and tribulations that you can become a better, stronger, and more vibrant human being. And why? Because miracles do happen. They happen every single day. And I know that, right? I've survived more things in my life than you could ever begin to imagine. I have outlived gang members, people that wanted to bury me alive in a box. I've outfoxed hitmen, witches, poisoning attempts. And I even beat a bout of cancer using prayer, faith, visualizations, hypnotherapy, all raw food, which I ate for 8 years, saunas, you name it. I did it all. It took everything, but that gave me the skills to learn how to survive difficult situations, right? So when bad things come my way, I alchemize that shit, right? I learn how to take what I need to learn, and I figure out a way to spin straw into gold. And that's all we can do in this planet, right? Is take the things that are hardships and turn them into something positive for the world. I have also scaled mountains all by myself on 10-day trips in the Sierras, carrying a 65-pound pack over mountain passes that were almost 15,000 feet high. So, people don't like to think that women are strong, but well, I'm here to tell you that there's plenty of strong women who are mighty and powerful and can bring good things to the planet. And we shouldn't fear that female strength, because that's what the divine feminine is all about, right? So let's take a look at the cards today. I have pre-shuffled. I like to do that just so I don't waste any time here. So we have the Two of Cups, the love card. Now, this could be about lovers, right? Like my husband and I, or it could be about love for yourself, finding the internal balance between your male and feminine aspects, bringing peace and harmony to a difficult situation, overcoming difficulties, and again, cleansing the emotions and just finding harmony. You can see the lotus flower up here, despite the trials and tribulations, right? Coming out on top. This is like an absolute win-win card of beauty, of finding inner peace despite the storm and overcoming difficult things, right? That maybe you were never meant to overcome. And yet people didn't realize how strong the divine feminine was, right? Okay, here we have the Wheel of Fortune card. In this case, the wheel is upside down. And of course, the wheel spins depending upon what your actions are. If you're in the upright, well, good things happen. That's when you got the Sphinx here tapping into all the etheric, information and stuff. But when it's upside down, well, that means that if it's upside down, it's maybe because of things like, credit card fraud, or taking out home loans in people's names, or, murder plots, possibly, or just scam artist stuff, or, going to the hospital and doing fake records, medical records on people. But guess what? I'm going to go take the test myself, and the detectives are going to fingerprint the fake records so that we know who really went in pretending to be me, right? And then I'm going to have my real results. And I guess, ooh, what was upside is going to go wonkers downside, right? But it all depends on what you're doing in the universe. So, but for some people, it is going to be upside down. Okay, we've got the Prince of Swords, and he's ready to go on a journey, right? He's got the chariot there, he's got the sun at his back. You can see his sword is out. He's ready to bring in information. He's ready to start a new project. He's ready to maybe write or somehow bring in information. But before he goes on this journey, he's discerning, right? Swords is all about discerning the truth. And this person is looking at who are the hanger honors in my life that don't belong there. And one by one, this prince is going to cut off all of the people that don't belong. And as it turns out, a fair number of them are actually going to go to jail because the sword of truth is going to just sever their connection to this journey. And then they're going to have a wonderful little trip. Here we have the Three of Discs. This is about finding stability with work. Working hard to bring structure into your life, keeping the wolves at bay, so to speak, because you're bringing in the coin through hard effort. And that means, working on your own, not living off of other people, not stealing off of other people, but actually putting in the effort to make your own money. Right? And I'm doing that right now. And if anybody calls ahead to interfere, I'm going to sue them for libel. Yeah. So we've already been down this route before. So yeah, we're ready this time. Okay. And there will be consequences. Yeah. So what does that look like? That looks like victory coming out, right? Victory coming out. And I do predict victory. There's going to be some very favorable movements in the sky around November 23rd that are lining up very well for good things to come in, possibly money to come in, possibly contracts to come in. It's a new moon in Sagittarius. That's my rising sign. That's how you present yourself to the world. I love that. So it does have a very benefic energy to it. So that is awesome. And of course, everybody knows I love astrology, and I even used it to solve my own crime. And that is true, right? Now, this is kind of in contrast to the eclipse that we had on November 8th, wherein we had some difficult energy afoot. Yes, it looked like things might have been aligned because the North Node was aligned with the Sun, which makes people think, I can do this. I can maybe go visit somebody and try to stir some, what up. But, if you don't know astrology, what you probably missed on that was having a square to it from Saturn. And that means law enforcement gets involved, the law, the rules, the regulations, the big hammer of God comes down on people when Saturn squares the sun. And so I think there were some people coming to, do some more hijinks to me, but real police, real FBI, the good guys, the really good guys, they put a hammer on that. Isn't that great? I love that. I love the real police. I love the real FBI. They rock. I've got undercover in my neighborhood, keeping me safe. Thank you very kindly, because that's bringing in victory. And the people who thought they were going to get in the little chariot and come and mess with my world, not happening. All right. We have the Eight of Pentacles. This is called Prudence. And I really like this because I do have a fair bit of Capricorn in my chart. And this is about bringing balance to things, right? Working hard and bringing balance to your coins. Not being crazy, no gambling, no drugs, no, whores, things like that suck up your money, but just, saving money, growing it over time, being responsible, and then having, of course, a fruitful harvest. And it's even blessed by the sun. So it's like the sun energy is kind of looking over all of that hard work and saying, okay, we're going to bring balance to a situation. And of course, to have that kind of, balance and income and whatnot, you have to put in the effort and you have to invest wisely and, not spend your money frivolously on ostentatious things. And if you do that well, you even have enough left over to help other people, which is, that's a divine thing, right? To be able to help make other people's paths better, right? Try to be a humanitarian and bring more balance to the world as well. All right, here we have the Magus. And again, this is the messenger, very much related to Gemini, the winged man who spreads information all over. And again, we're on the watch out for this because somebody hacked my email. They removed my 2-step verification process. So now they're watching over what jobs I'm applying for. But guess what? There are people watching you. And so if you call ahead with slander and lies, that's going to be more karma because, though you might think you can just throw out lies and things and continue to ruin a person, eventually that is going to actually boomerang. So the messenger works that way. And, he wants to be lighthearted. So just letting you know. And of course, the goal for the hard work is to bring balance into your life, to bring beauty into your life, to bring emotional stability and happiness into your life, to make sure the cups are overflowing, that everything's golden. And of course, for that, you need a stable internal being, right? And of course, I've been working on that a lot to overcome the various things that have been happening. And just finding that sense of joy and purpose and, having happy love situation, right? Beautiful thing there. And celebrations, right? Lots of celebrations. I'm looking forward to the celebration where I get to meet my soul tribe, the wonderful people who have been supporting me. Because you know what? That was one of the most godly things I've ever seen. Strangers reaching out to help. Odin, Ra, Sekhmet, Kuan Yin, Metatron, Archangel Michael, people that are seem to be divinely connected. People that tell the truth, that don't lie, don't slander, who are actually connected to true godlike energy, right? And, I appreciate that so much. Oh, now here we do have the tower again. The tower does show up a lot. And again, I think this is here because there's so many things that need to be cleaned up in our country. It's almost like this tower represents Washington, D.C. We want stability, right? We want truthfulness. We want decency. We want dignity. We want people that have the 99%'s better interests at heart. And we don't want the corruption. I think that's what we're seeing all through here is the corruption, the fake webcams, the voyeuring, being in a woman's shower, filthy stuff like that. We don't want that. What we want is for all that corruption and fraud and fake ass shit to come tumbling down. Why? Because the fire needs to happen so that we can be returned to decency. And yes, that will cause some people to flee right out of the building, right? But having that happen is actually a good thing because we need less corruption. We need the people to be working for the 99% and to help bring balance. And of course, the tower only falls for the people who need the tower to fall. Good people will be blessed by the higher side of God, right? So, if you weren't voyeuring in a woman's shower illegally, that should be no problem, right? But I think too, this also could represent who wired my shower with wireless connections so that it could be on the fake reality TV show. I think we need to find out, don't you? Uh, I do. And who put the hard wire into the television set for the other little tape to be made? I think big tower's coming for that, right? Because that's indecency. That shouldn't exist in our government. And we need to blow that out like with a blowtorch, right? And that kind of tower is actually a very positive thing because it makes our country more decent and respectful and something we can look up to, right? And if you love America, as I do, you want that for our country, right? To weed out the indecency. That's what the tower's for. And if we can do that, we have valor, right? It's going to take bravery to go after some of the stuff that happened in order to bring a victory in. And yet, if we don't do that, we're stuck with the debauchery, with the greed, with the lies, with the suitcases of money, with the abuses of power, the illegal things that are going on. But if we can have somebody with leadership skills standing forthright in front of the conflict going on in the back and showing valor, then we can clean up our country so that we can be pleased with what we see, because we should be a beacon on a shining hill, right? We need to return to that state, and we need leadership that is lit on fire to bring in decency back to America. Some of that will be men. Some of that will also be women, because we have strong, powerful women also working in the government, and my feeling is we need more. They can have the sword of truth in their hand. They're able to cut through the illusions, the lies, the confusion, the slander, even the horrible things that are said about people, just in order to hold them back so that others can rob from them. Sometimes it's all about just cutting through all that BS and cutting through things that aren't working in our justice system, cleaning that up, right? So that actual justice can be brought to victims. And this is a woman who does have higher perception, right? She can see things from a higher angle. She does want to bring in the truth, right? Wants for things to work well, and also wants to rip the masks off of people who need to have the masks ripped off. And you can even see it. There's a mask right here. So people that are living false lies, telling lies, slander, credit card fraud, buying people's homes and other people's names, the mask is going to get ripped off. And people who are working in the justice system who are corrupt, taking bribes and things like that, I think that's all got to come out too. So those masks have to be ripped off. And I do want to know who wired my shower wirelessly for the fake reality TV show. And I think all of these things eventually are going to come to light. And of course, when that does, we're going to have the tower, right? And it's meant so that we can return to being a decent country where women are safe, right? And not abused. We need that to happen. And we also need territories so that women can be safe from some of the things that are afoot right now. We also have swift information coming in. Wow, I love this. And you can see it's like electric information flying everywhere. And it's got Mercury. So again, swords. Actually, in this case, wands. Forgive me, wands. Mercury, passionately getting information out, passionate projects, discussing things, collaborating, information flowing everywhere, multiple paths to take with very fiery energy, right? And yet, all of this fiery energy and initiative is going to bring in a very happy ending, right? This could almost be looked at like a collaboration between agencies like FBI, local police, detectives, private investigators, things like that. So lots of information coming in to get down to the truth. Love that. Here we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is filled with inspiration herself. She is tapped in whenever you see the kind of projections coming out of a person's head. That means that they're tapping into the information in the cosmos, the higher realms. For this kind of card, inspiration, creativity. Wands always has to do with some sort of journey or creative adventure. And in this case, this woman is very fruitful. You can see the staff in her hand. It's topped with a pine cone indicating fruition, bringing things down to earth. And part of the way she's able to get ahead is she's able to look at her past. Basically, she's got a handle on her past, and she's able to discern good from bad. And she can tell who's not true because they have black spots, and those black spots show up in a variety of ways. And it's being able to recognize what serves on that journey and what does not. And when the black spots show up, okay, something's not right here. And that's also her tapping into the ethers to get to the truth. Here we have indolence. Oh, how very different than the Two of Cups. This one's joyful. This one looks sleazy, doesn't it? Like the affluent coming out of a house of ill repute, right? The water is murky. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Looks like with multiple partners, but there's no real investment here whatsoever. The investment is empty. It's just kind of the quick in and out energies. There's no emotion. What emotions are there are very dark and murky and seedy looking. I mean, I would say just like filthy, seedy looking. From all of the exchange of energy all over the place, which of course does lead to STDs, right? And an unfulfillment of cups. And this is also related to if you're investing in something, the Eight of Cups often means that you look and you go, oh, this is just not worth putting any energy into because it just looks foul, right? It's better to hang tight and look for the real thing. You look for the real thing, you get the Nine of Cups, right? You get happiness, you get balance, you get flow of love and emotions, good things coming in, beauty, decency, just, it's a joyful card. So Nine of Cups is emotional fulfillment, being very happy, being very blessed, and recognizing what looks good and real and has merit on the inside because of what is on the inside of a person versus seedy, corrupt, and very foul looking, right? Indecent, no truth, no emotion, just BS, right? Whereas this is a beautiful card of love and fulfillment and bringing in the cups. And of course, part of discerning that is to get at the truth, to see what's behind the veil. Now, sometimes you can do that on your own. Sometimes FBI agents or other people help to reveal what's behind the veil. Sometimes, too, you can tap into energy that's hidden to figure out what's behind the veil. And in my particular case, I did just that. Astrology for a trained person is the best background check you could ever have on a person because you will see things that others do not see. And you'll see it. I saw what I saw in an hour, and it turns out everything I saw was dead on right? And so things were revealed that would have otherwise been hidden. And that was enough to make any sane person run for the hills, right? And so anyhow, our life is written in the stars, and it just depends if you can read the energy or not. I also like this card because it relates to hypnotherapy, delving down into the subconscious to heal wounds, to connect with God in a very powerful fashion, to journey with your mind. I have left my body twice under hypnosis, so I am the person that actually astral projected. I know others were pretending to be me, but that actually was me. It's not an easy thing to do. I have almost done it a third time. But when my life force energy gathered in my chest, I got scared and that stopped the whole process. But when you do manage to make it happen and you're free from your body, it is an amazing thing. And then just as you've always heard, you do have a soul. It does travel. That's your light body. When you die, that's what journeys on to heaven. And so mine has been freed from its vehicle twice, and it was amazing, truly amazing. And in one case, I soared to the clouds. It was just a beautiful white, cloudy area. And there was a white louvered door that I went to. And it was cracked open, and the most brilliant sunlight you could ever imagine was streaming from behind that door. And my soul was instantly attracted. It just had that feeling of this is great love. This is the true divine, right? This is God energy pouring out from behind this door, beckoning. And my soul wanted to go right up to it, wanted to peer behind the door. But as I approached, a wind kicked up and the door closed. And it was as if God is saying, it's not your time to be here yet, not to see all of these mysteries at once. So sometimes there are guardians at the gate that allow your spiritual progress to be slowed down to what you're ready for, or what the divine feels you're ready for. And that's all about the moon. Many people have called me the high priestess. Um, I don't know if that's true or not, but I do like to tap into the energies of the cosmos. And you can see right here, this woman is very tapped in. She does have moon energy at her beck and call. So I do sometimes see behind the veil with dreams and intuition. It does happen. It's uncanny when it happens, but I'm not really psychic. I know truly psychic people and they're very tapped in. But I do listen to my gut, and my gut does lead me in the right direction. Very often. And by connecting to the godlike energy in the fashion I do, I'm able to be hooked in to this beautiful grid of cosmos energy, right? And that's how I get tapped in. I know people do it differently, but for me, that's how it works. And that allows me to bring heavenly energy down to earth. And of course, with what I've been going through, one of the things I wanted to do is bring heavenly energy down to earth. And I have been blocked a number of ways from doing that. But I do think in the end, it is all going to work out. And I'm going to be able to bring things into fruition. Why? Because I'm able to go through hard times, and you can see the camel down here. I have been through some difficult times, but the camel carries everything they need right on their back, and they're able to go through the worst possible deserts with self-reliance, independence, and the ability to tough out tough times. And I see the date of the coming court case, and I do believe that there will be a foundation made so that we can bring good things to earth. And by then, I hope that we have cleaned out the corruption of where we are, so that this is a wonderful and safe place to invest. Because right now, we feel so chaotic, it's a little scary to want to invest here, because we have too much craziness going on, because we need territories instead of a two-party system, so that we're not at war with each other. And that way everybody can get more of what they want without big lies and cheating and all of that. And then if it feels safe and women have a safe place to exist, then the high priestess can bring good things down to earth. Right? And that was the alchemy that was supposed to happen 6 years ago. But when you have a corrupt country, it's very hard to bring good things to fruition, right? 6 years of waiting to bring good things to fruition because of the corruption. So the shining beacon on a hill has to have the corruption cleaned up. We need change. We feel that the Pluto cycles here. It's ending a 248-year journey through Capricorn, which started with the beginning foundations of our nation in 1776, right? That was the beginning. Now we're seeing the end cycle of that. We have returned basically from which we came, which is we have corrupt judges, we have corrupt officials. It's like just like the Tories were, only now it's ourselves. And we need the great fire to burn all of that away so that we can put power back into the hands of the people. We can get rid of the corruption and have government start working for the 99%, because that's what's coming. Pluto in Aquarius. And so times are changing, times are shifting. So we just need to make sure we get through 2023 safely so we can put things back into the hands of the people. And we need to do that. So, anyhow, that's what's coming. And then hopefully, not only can we heal ourselves as women, right, but also help to heal our country, which needs to be healed from what we've all been through with the riots and smearing poo on the walls and all of that stuff. We need to heal because we're all Americans. So we need to tap into our true godlike energy and recognize that we need to really think about where we are, bring the godlike energy down to earth and help us to sit down at the table so that we can get behind what's happening, see behind the moon energy, get down to what is needed to be done. What are the hidden agendas? How do we bring things to light? How do we work around the emotional conflicts so that our country can shine like a great star? And of course, personally, as the divine feminine, it's about how do you heal yourself after being somehow snagged up in all of that. That's been quite a journey, right? Because as it turns out, winning at any cost is really costly. But what we should be doing is winning decently, winning with respect for each other, winning by playing fairly, and not with hatred, hate-filled ads, not with Russians, not with all that stuff. But trying to bring true godlike energy to our country where decency can flow from the heavens all the way down to earth. And maybe that means we do need territories so we can all get more of what we want. And as a woman, I would like territories where I know my rights will be preserved, and that I will have a say in what's going on. Because, again, women need to be healed in this country from some of the stuff that we've been put through. And this card is all about healing if we can just tap into it. Okay, I've got other cards. This is my sacred geometry deck. You can see a pod of dolphins here. I love that. I actually have swum with dolphins before on my 28th birthday. I just intuitively knew, even though it goes against my grain with large animals, I intuitively knew that I could get in the water and swim with dolphins that were following our boat. And I did. And it was beautiful. They formed a circle all around me. They are very clan-like creatures. They are family, right? And they work together. And they have magical music and sounds and communication systems. And it also, to me, it kind of reflects all of the interagency help that I have received to overcome where I am. FBI, good police, detectives, private investigators, judges who are able to cut through the BS with the sword to get to the truth. Just a multitude of good people helping all in a pod to help bring justice to what was just a disastrous situation, not only for myself, but for our country. And I love it because, that's helping to bring light down into the depths. And again, bringing out the things that are not working or the horrible things that happened is not bad, because it's all about having a good look at where we are and saying, is this where we want to be? Where we're sex trafficking women, wiring their shower for fake reality TV shows, all because, somebody bought software off the internet and got used in a coup. But this tower is going to help to end some of that. And the tower is coming for some people because we want a country that's decent, that runs fairly, right? Not big lies, not cheating, not fighting each other, because we're not wise enough to get out of the two-party system. But to create change in a positive manner, right? Not coup-like energy, but a positive manner, sitting down at the table and talking. Cooperation, right? That's what we need. Person-to-person cooperation, interagency cooperation, ability to work as a unit. Why? Because we're all Americans and we should love each other even though we have differences. Snake, transmutation. And, snakes can be very positive. They actually can have a very healing symbology, transformational energy. They shed their skin. They are able to have new lives by shedding their skin. There can be positive things with snakes, but of course, sometimes we also have snakes in the grass, right? And some of those can be really big, bad, ugly snakes that go, right? So you have to be careful because you have to discern: is this for transformation? Is this for healing? Or is this somebody who's just waiting in the shadows, trying to bite you yet again? So it's all about reading the energy. And people definitely help me to read the energy, and I'm grateful for that, right? Oh, okay. In this card, purification, water. Okay. This kind of reminds me of that star card. You have an angelic person here. There's a lot of light streaming in. Water can be very healing. We all know that, right? We bathe to wash away the sins of the world, to relax, to heal ourselves, and cleanse our emotions, and basically purify ourselves of very toxic situations, right? And I've been helped multitudes this way because I've had not one person after me, but gangs, flying monkeys, gangbangers, all kinds of people set in motion to take down divine feminine. And yet, here we are, healing, getting better, stronger, more balanced every day, returning to self, waiting for good things to come in, emotional healing, right? So, how very grateful I am. And I just want to wish you all well. Thank you ever so much for joining me. We are truly about light, love, and angelic vibes in the universe, and also about solving crimes here. So God bless, and thank you to all good people who have helped me along this journey. Thank you kindly.